First of all, I would like just to congratulate the conference committee teams and the sponsors for coordinating this and wonderful international conference. And on behalf of my co-author, Bart Mabin, I will just present our paper, which titles The Determinants of Supply Chain Performance in Procuring Entity in Tanzania, Mediating the Effect of Supplier-Buyer Relationship. Our paper covers the introduction part, which focuses on the motivation of our study, will be followed by the methodology we adopted, and then will be the result will be presented. I will end up presenting the discussion of our results, which will comprise the conclusion, theoretical, and the practical implication, as well as the limitations and recommendation for future research. Our motivation of our start is originated from the debate which exists in the empirical and the theoretical literature review with regard to the determinant of supply chain performance, as well as the mediation effect of those determinants. If you look the current literature, you can just see a couple of resources which depends on the supply chain performance. And these are determinants of every firm or every organization to be competitive. And they are categorized in two categories. And some of these resources are tangible and some are intangible ones. And this normally they can be used to formulate some strategies which can make the firm to become competitive, and at the end, the supply chain performance can be improved. So the issue here, the existing literature having a debate which is inconclusive with regard to the determinants of the use of these resources, so that they can become affecting the supply chain performance as well as the mediating effect. If you look back 20 years ago, you can just see the unified theory of acceptance and the use of technology was just introduced. And this explained the determinant of user behavior. And also you can just see there are direct and indirect determinants of the user behavior, which again, they are moderated by a couple of moderators in figure 1. And in figure 2, you can see this kind of theory has been modified by dropping those moderators and introducing a new construct, which is the attitude. And basing on this particular two contradiction and findings, we had our model here in figure 3, which explained the determinant of supply chain performance, which include the supplier-buyer relationship and the strategic procurement planning and information sharing. Those were regarded in our case as determinant of supply chain performance, and supplier-buyer relationship was predicted to be a mediator of this particular influence of strategic procurement planning and sharing, information sharing. And we adopted the mathematical model, which states that X equal to Ly plus A, where X is X is an indicator of the construct, and the Y is just a latent variable, and A is the random measurement error, and the L is just the coefficient which shows the relationship, explain the relationship of X and Y. And we adopted this because our model is a reflective measurement model. So to validate this kind of model in figure 3, we had to use the positivism as a philosophy, because this kind of philosophy is used to test the hypothesis when it comes a model with having the cause-effect relationship. Also, we adopted the explanatory and the descriptive cross-section survey research design in our case, because we had to survey a couple of institutions and suppliers who were based in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. And our unit of analysis were only procurement experts and suppliers in different areas in Dar es Salaam. And because these are key players in supply chain management. And we had to use the sampling technique was stratified, and we were able to collect 167 respondents And this sample size was adequate according to the rule of thumb, which was suggested by Hare in 2019. And questionnaire and the documentary review were used as a method for data collection. And we had to do a pilot study before collecting the actual sample size. And after collecting the sample size, we had to test the reliability of the construct as well as the validity by using the composite reliability and the average variance extracted. Also, we tested the discriminant validity by using HTMT. Again, we adopted all those ethical issues pertaining the research, including avoiding any kind of plagiarism. In data analysis, we had to code our questionnaire before data entry, and we introduced the 99 as to assign all those missing values so that to make sure the quality of our findings according to the use of our method of analysis. And in analyzing the descriptive, we had to use IBM SPSS statistics version 26. And for inferential statistics, we used the partial least square structure equation modeling for testing our hypothesis. And we observed all those measurement model criteria pertain the analysis of PRS semi and the structural modeling criteria. We observed all those criteria. In our case, all those criteria were met. The findings reveal that in descriptive analysis, most of the respondents were having bachelor degrees, which imply that these findings are genuine because people were responding to enough education. And for inferential statistics, all those hypotheses which we predicted were accepted because the pass coefficient were positive, which implies that when an increase of a strategic procurement planning implies that there is an increase of buyer-supplier relationship, also increase of information sharing, also there is an increase of supplier-buyer relationship at the and the supplier performance would be improved. And these three constructs were able to explain the supplier performance by 58.3%. And when we did the bootstrapping in figure 6, this relationship were realized that they are real existing, and the supplier performance, that means depends on the supplier-buyer relationship and the strategic procurement planning and information sharing. We had also to determine the kind of mediation effect which existed in our model. In figure 7, we realized that there is full and partial mediation effect. Because, for example, if you look at the strategic procurement planning, it has a direct and indirect relationship with the supply performance, whereby the p-value was less than 0.5, the direct and indirect. That means there is partial mediation. And if you come to the information sharing, you can see the indirect relationship is accepted. All hypotheses which were tested there were positive and were less than 0.05, but the direct was greater than 0.0. That means the indirect was accepted, but the direct was not accepted. That implies that there is a full mediation existing in our model. In figure 8, we had just to do another analysis, pertain the important performance map analysis.
2 minutes, Dr. Deus. 2 minutes left.
Okay, we have to determine which construct is more important. In your case, we observed that the supplier-buyer relationship is having more important in the supply chain performance because it is based on the in quadrant 1, whereby importance and performance is high. And in discussion of our results, we we observed that all relationship or hypotheses were accepted. That in our case, we said that this was a theoretical contribution. So to conclude, this supplier-buyer relationship and the strategic procurement plan and information sharing are determinant of supply chain performance. And this implies that theoretically we have contributed because this kind of model has not been tested. And practically, this means if you increase the information sharing, that means you attract more suppliers and customers, and this will be a very competitive. And the end value for money can be earned. And let me conclude. Limitation. Our model was limited to only three constructs, which were able to experience 62.5% of the supply chain performance, and it was based on quantitative approach. And the sample size involved only buyers who are coming from Tanzania. And we recommend in the future that future researchers should just increase this the number of constructs so that we improve the experimental power of supply chain performance, and to use a mixed approach. And sample size should be included and should include other players in supply chain management, and buyers should be coming from different countries. Thank you very much.